Hello and welcome. If you like today's tutorial, please like and subscribe, it really does help. Today we're going to be creating this scene in Unreal Engine 5 and Blender. Okay, so we start today inside Unreal Engine 5. When I was thinking about how to approach this, obviously I'd never done it before, and I started to look at fluid dynamics and all sorts of complicated things, and I realized it doesn't have to be complicated. We can do it in a really basic way, just using Unreal Engine 5 and Blender. So let's proceed with the tutorial, and I will show you how I created this. Before we begin properly, I just want to say that I am using Unreal Engine 5.1 today. That won't impact the tutorial in any way. There's nothing that I'm using inside Unreal Engine 5.1 that is not the same as what you will have access to in other versions. So this is what we have running in real time in the editor. Right, let's start with a scene breakdown. Obviously I have a sequencer and it's 1,000 frames long. That's going to be important later because it's separated into two 500 frame sections. That's how I approached it. Originally it was 500 frames, but I didn't realize how short that actually was going to be at 24 frames per second. So it's 1,000 frames long, and it's just got one single camera with simple camera movement over the 1,000 frames. Okay, then onto our scene. Let me just pull out. There's our camera look. So if we look at it from this angle, we just got the camera up here, which slowly moves down. Then we have, if we go to unlit mode, this is going to be a lot clearer for you. There we go. We have, from Quixel Bridge, we have these building parts, and I've just duplicated them 3 times. We have a pavement or sidewalk. Again, I just duplicated it. Now, if we come down to the floor, we have again duplicated pieces of cardboard from bridge, a crate covered in a tarp, and then a plastic crate which will hold our water. Then we have our various lights in the scene. There's a Rex light over here, look. And then obviously the water itself. The water itself is just a geometry cache, which we will get to. I will show you how to import that into the import that into the engine. Then we have this MI Pool 03 material, which is a water material. This comes with Unreal Engine 5. It's part of the Datasmith. I can't actually find it at the moment, but it's part of the Datasmith plugin that comes with Unreal Engine 5, and you can come up to the settings in your content browser and you can show engine content and show plugin content, and then you can find all the stuff that comes with Unreal Engine 5 materials and examples and such. And so that's what I use for the material, and I just edited the color and the wave size, max depth, and I wasn't quite happy with how that turned out. I gave it like a brown color, so in our scene it appears gray. Let me just go to lit mode again. It's kind of got a grey look to it with the orange light shining on it. Right, so the weather itself is, let me just go back to unlit mode. As you can see, it's raining. This is UltraDynamic Sky from the Epic Marketplace. Let me pull that out for you. Here it is, UltraDynamic Sky. This is fantastic. It's well worth the money. I really like this. It's really simple. I know as the engine has advanced, the Sky system has got brilliant. It's just fantastic in Unreal Engine 5, but I still use this. It does say it only supports 4.27, and it seems to work inside Unreal Engine 5. So it doesn't have the full functionality, but it is still worth it. And I would presume when Unreal Engine 5 is released, that a update of this will appear as well. Right, so what we would do to create our UltraDynamic Sky is simply go to our content drawer. In fact, let's just begin from the beginning. Let me save this. In fact, let's just create a map. Go to my maps. I have a lot. I'm gonna call this Water Tut 2. There we go. And we open it up. Yep, let's save. Right, so we start with a blank map. The first thing I would do is drag in UltraDynamic Sky. So we would go to UltraDynamic Sky, go to Blueprints. First, I want to drag in Sky. It may take a while if it's your first time doing it. I always set it to 0, 0. And next I would drag in UltraDynamic Weather, and as you can see, instantly it creates weather. Here we go. But what I want to do for the time being, just so we can see everything, is just clear skies. Right, for some reason UltraDynamic Sky is not very bright. Let me just try and fix that. I fixed it by me being a moron. It's because we're in unlit mode. There we go. There we go. That's better. So, yeah, when you drag those blueprints in, you're instantly given a sky, and you can adjust. But what I like about this is I can very quickly adjust the time of day, like so. And look, there's even stars and a moon, and I quite like that. Anyway, for now, let's just say back to daytime. And the other component, the UltraDynamic Weather, comes with various presets, which is partially cloudy, overcast, foggy, light rain, thunderstorm, light snow, blizzard, and that's it. Okay, and it comes with sounds. For example, if we were to, I can't really show you because I can't capture my desktop audio, but it comes with the sounds for thunder, lightning, rain, snow, etc. So next, I need to pull in our Megascans assets, and obviously I went to Bridge and I downloaded these assets. Come to our local assets. Look, so I have these assets. So it's a modular building blocked window, the tarped crate, the cardboard sheets, the dirty plastic crate, and then somewhere the sidewalk as well. You will notice that all these are nanite. I did it at the maximum quality because there's only a few of these, and it is nanite. So yeah, I just used the maximum quality. Right, so then what I would start with is go to my 3D assets, and first I want to find my wall, which is there, and I would open that up. Yeah, so we just drag that into the scene like so. I will set it to 0, 0, and then I will adjust the view so we can see it. There we go. I'll copy and paste and just join them together. Like so. Then we need our sidewalk. So I've got a floor. There, I'll set that to 0, 0, 2. And copy and paste. There we go. We now have a sidewalk. And then what I decided to do is, is here. Let me just adjust this join here because I can see it and I don't like that. There we go. And then I just simply came to about here, I think, and I then dragged in my, there it is, tarped crate, and I just placed that in the scene like so, leaving a little bit of a distance to the wall. I may have rotated it slightly or something, but for now we'll just leave it straight like that. It's just, yeah, just slightly off. Then I brought in the plastic crate and dragged that in and placed it on top like so, and then I again rotated that, aligned it, then went to my cardboard sheets and just placed them around the scene. Next, what I want to do is create a camera. This is often how I will move forward. Sometimes I might even create the camera first. So cinematic and create a camera. I want to snap that object to view. So now it'll give us the same view as we have here. I will then, usually I like a wide shot inside the editor. So I go to full frame DSLR preset, but then I will set that one to 15 and it gives me a 2:4 ratio. I then pilot the camera and then I will set it to where I want it, like so, and then I will turn on my weather. I actually set this to nighttime, and then for weather I went to the presets and I chose thunderstorm. So now if we hit play, let's see what happens. Right, obviously I'm going to need to light this scene, so I would create lights, a rect light. Let me just come out my cameraman, and then I will adjust these colors over time. I set this to kind of a blue, if I remember correctly. And then I just set it right off here. But again, I will adjust these as I am going along to lighten up specific parts of the scene. It's just that simple. I will place lights. There's no method to what I'm doing. I'm just looking at the scene and then placing lights around to light up various parts of the scene. And obviously in the completed scene, I've added these lights here, here, and here. I do believe there is actually a light inside the water, and I am going to get to the water and all the wet effects and things. Right, so if we go to UltraDynamic Sky, let's deal with the wet on the walls first and on the objects. If we go to UltraDynamic Sky, it does actually come with a demo map. Let's click on that. And it might take a while for the shaders to compile. Weather, and let's set this to thunderstorm. And as you can see, it has puddles, and it should, if we go to this, let me just go into game mode, sorry. If you look, there are puddles, and if you look at this, there is water running down. So let's find out what is actually on this material. And this is it, look. So this is not an in-depth tutorial about UltraDynamic Sky. I will be using these wet weather effects, look. So what I'm actually going to do is just cheat a little. I'm going to grab all these, like so, copy them. Then I'm going to go to my materials folder, and I'm going to create a new folder in here called functions. And I'm going to create a new material function by going to materials, material function, and we'll call this MF Jobutsu Rain version 2, because I'm pretty sure I've already got one of these material functions in my project. Right, so it gives you this output result and this window. So what we're going to do is just paste in Control V what we borrowed from UltraDynamic Sky. I want to delete this output result node, right click and type output, function output we're looking for, and then I just want to delete this, duplicate this 3 times, like so. I'm going to name the first one base color. The second one will be roughness. Okay, and the third one will be normal. And then I will just drag base color into base color, roughness into roughness, normal into normal. Then obviously we're going to need an input, because these functions take an input, and well, this particular function requires an input and an output. So if I type input, my brain really is operating slow today. Right, yep, so we name this base color, and we will plug that into base color. Do another input, function input, and I will just duplicate that. Okay, and this second one, obviously I will call this roughness, and the third we will call this normal. We don't need to adjust any of these parameters. I was pretty happy with the parameters that were set by default with UltraDynamic Sky. So let's drag our roughness into roughness and normal into normal. Hit save. And now we have a material function, which I will show you how to use shortly. So let's close that for now and close this. Okay, so let's go back to our map. Where is it there? Okay, so I already have wet in this scene, but I do want to improve upon that. I was not happy with it. So what we can do is just click on the Megascans prop and then go to its material, scroll down and find its parent material, MS default material. And as you can see, I've got a Jobutsu rain here. I'm going to actually replace that with so I will type in function material function call there, and it's an unspecified function. I'm going to type in mf Jobutsu, and there it is, rain version 2. When the Megascans material comes, it comes like this. What we need to do is go to our albedo and hold down Control and drag and put that into rough. Oh, sorry. I really am an idiot. Drag into base color and then go to our tangent normal, drag to normal and roughness into roughness, and then drag from our Jobutsu rain node into roughness, normal, and base color to albedo. And we can drag this down now and then hit save. Okay, so now if I hit save, we should have wet weather effects on this when we go back. So let's close that. There you go. Water is running down the walls. It is on, since that master material is shared by most of the Megascans assets, look, it just automatically makes everything wet. There we go. But with the floor, I didn't do this in the tutorial and I was kicking myself. So the floor is wet. But if I click on the floor, go to its material in the materials folder, I want to actually double click on this and we can search for puddle. And if we enable puddles in that material, hit save, we should now have puddles on the floor. I didn't do that in the promo shot and it was driving me crazy all night. It was like something is missing and it's the puddles. You can adjust the intensity of these things, but that is beyond the scope. As I said, this is not a tutorial for UltraDynamic Sky. I'm just showing you how to get the effect for now. So if we go back to our camera and zoom in like so, go to game mode, this is what we have so far. Right, so I would turn off in post-processing eye adaptation. So it's just constantly the same exposure like that. Right, so with that done, I want to move on to this water itself. And for that, if we pull it up first, look, it is just a plane. Do you see that? It just looks like a plane. And if we look underneath there, as I said, there is a light inside there, which it doesn't seem to be shining through, but it's slightly there. Look, the light that's underneath the water is just shining out slightly. But yeah, select our plastic crate and go to its folder by clicking here. We need to export this. So right click, asset actions, export, and we're going to export to an FBX, and I want to just export it to a folder that you can remember, so we can import it into Blender shortly. Okay, so here I am in Blender. I'm using 3.01, and let me ensure that my screencast keys are on. I say this every single tutorial and I never remember to enable it. There you go. Now you can see what keys I am using. So first it's A to select everything, and then X to delete. And then we need to import our crate first. So let me do that. Right, so we go to import here, import FBX, and this dialog box pops up, and project files is rain, and here is our dirty plastic crate. I don't want to adjust anything for the moment. Maybe uncheck animation. There's no animation with it, but we do it. So let's import the crate, and it is quite small. Yeah, it is quite small. So I'm going to hit S and type 10. And there we go. You can alter that on import, so it imports at this side, or you can set Blender up to work with the same scale as Unreal Engine, but I haven't got the time for that today, so let's just proceed. So with your crate now in Blender, we have something to work with, so we know where our water needs to be. That is only purpose that we've imported this. Next, we need to create a add mesh plane, and I want to grab by hitting G, Z to pull it up on the Z axis, and then I just want to hit S and just roughly scale this like so. Let's look from above. I'm going to scale on the Y and just adjust until it fits kind of in your crate. So grab Y, there we go. Let me then grab and bring that down, and I just want it to just sit under the lip of the crate. With the plane selected, hit tab to go into edit mode, and we want to right click, subdivide, and come down to here, and I want quite a lot of subdivision, so I'm going to type 128. I know that seems like a lot, but it will give you smoother results. So then A to select it all. And the next thing I want to do, it's not absolutely essential, but I do this, I triangulate the faces. Let's go back into object mode. Next, I want to right click and shade smooth immediately. Okay, so now we're ready to turn this into water. So what I want to do now is duplicate it. So Shift D and click like so, and then grab on the Z axis, pull it up, scale, like so. Fantastic. Now you want to just raise this up slightly. It'll become clear shortly. Select the lower plane, come to material properties, click new, name this new material water, and I'm just going to make it blue for now. It's not essential, but we'll make it blue. Right, next we're going to apply dynamic paint settings to this. So if we come down here to physics properties, select dynamic paint, make sure it's select type is canvas, and just add canvas. Go down to here and choose waves, and that will do for now. Click this top plane here, and we want to do again dynamic paint, but this time we're going to call this brush, and add brush, and that will here we choose particle system, and that's it. Just leave that for a moment. Then go to particle properties, click the add button, set the number to maybe 25 for now. Okay, down here set the frame to 500, the end frame, sorry, to 500 there. Here set this to 500, and we will change this bottom one as well shortly. So there we go. And then if we go back to our physics properties, come down here to source, and where it says particle systems, choose particle system. There we go. And now select our bottom plane again, and just set the end frame here to 500. Now if we hit play, let's see what happens. There we go. We instantly have a water type effect. So then the question becomes, how do we get this into the engine? And that is pretty easy. So let's go back to the beginning. First thing you need to do is save. So we'll call this Make It Rain 3. So just save your project, and then what this will do is allow us to bake the dynamic paint. So if we come to here to physics properties for our lower plane, go to cache, which is down here. It will allow you to bake, click bake, the dynamic paint. There we go. Okay, so now we have a baked dynamic paint, and with the plane selected, come up here, go to export, Alembic, yeah, we'll call this Make It Rain 3. I may have to play around with this scale, but for now I'm going to actually set it to 10, maybe. Let's leave it at 1 and see what happens. So yeah, start frame is 1, end frame, and then click on selected objects. I want to uncheck particles and hair because it's just to make sure that those are not exported, and that's it. So hit export. That's it, we're now exported. We can go back to Unreal Engine 5. Okay, back in Unreal Engine 5. Obviously I already have water imported, but we will re-import. In my meshes folder, I would right click, import to game meshes, and then I would find my models folder. Here it is, and there it is, Make It Rain 3, that's what I called it. Open it up, and then this dialog pops up, Alembic cache import options. We want to set it to geometry cache, and then I'm actually not going to touch any of these settings. You may want to work with the rotation, so it does come into the engine a little strange, so that might be something that you want to do, but I'm just going to flip it over manually in the editor. So let's just hit import. I'll show you in a moment, and then it will take a while to import. Okay, so that's imported. If we drag this into our scene, and let me pull it up. Yep, if you look, it's coming too small. So we're going to have to go back to Blender and export this again. Sorry, Alembic. And it was Make It Rain 3, wasn't it? And I'm going to set this time to 10. And export Alembic. All the settings are still the same. Fantastic. And then back in the engine, we can just right click on the asset, re-import with new file, Make It Rain 3 Alembic, and open, and it'll re-import. Okay, so there it is, it's re-imported. Now you can't see it because the rotation that it's been imported with is incorrect. So if you just rotate it until you can see the world grid material, see that? It's probably better to figure out, it's probably 90 degrees, look, on the X axis. So when you're imported, if you were to set that up that way to minus 90, is it? Oh, yeah, sorry, 90 degrees, there it is. 90 degrees on the X axis. So if you do that in the import settings, it'll just come in correct anyway. Right, so then if we look, it is about the right size for our crate already, and then I would just adjust it. Let me just, for now, I will just move that one out of the way, like so. My original one. Let me get that out of the shot for you. Okay, so then I will just move this into place, go down, and again I would just place it so it's just under the lip of our crate, like so. Yep. You may have to adjust it if it looks strange when we apply a material and hit play. So I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I am happy, I think. Maybe just 31 degrees. Yeah, okay. So there we go. It's inside our crate. Next, we would apply the material, which in my case, obviously, I already have the material, which is cool. But if you look here, because if you click this cog and you have show engine content and show plugin content, the MI pool material will show up in Unreal Engine 5. And hopefully, I haven't actually checked this. This is available in Unreal Engine 5 because obviously I am using 5.1. So if it's not, I really apologize, but any water material will do. That is not important. But this water material works for me. So you may need to use another water material. But yeah, so I've applied the water material. Now if we go to lit, there we go, instantly we have our water material. Now, where are the drops? Well, obviously, they do not appear until you hit play. And when you do, as you can see, we have our water drops. Now, obviously, because of the lighting and the colour of the water, they're not as visible as they should be. Now, you could go back to Blender and you could make them really stand out. But I kind of like this effect. But, I mean, let's just try and change this. Let me just copy the hex value. There we go. And let's, for example, make it blue, and okay, and then change the depth. Let me just drag this out so I can see what the effect is. Like that. Look, you see this value here makes it clearer, so you could have clearer water. So then if we hit play, you can actually see the bottom of the crate, look. So yeah, you could just play around with the values. And then finally, as you showed you before, we set up a sequence by simply dragging in our camera here. Just drag it in. And then I've just played with the focal length, etc. And I adjust the focal length over the time. So I actually haven't. Oh, I thought I did. But yeah, anyway, so that's all you do. Just animate the camera. I've already done that in tutorials before. And here is the finished product. Okay, if you found today's tutorial helpful, please like, subscribe, share. I have more tutorials on the way. I'm just waiting for Unreal Engine 5 to be released because I don't want them changing things at the last minute and rendering my tutorials useless. So I have content, it's sat waiting, ready to go. I also have some facial mocap stuff. I'm just working out some bugs with the software that we'll be exploring, and then I will put that out. And then finally some stuff with cyborgs and wiggly things. So bye bye for now.